Hello fellow art nerds, my name is Felicia and this is part 3 of our introduction to digital art, as well as learning the basics of MediBang Paint Pro. So I'm going to go through some more new tools and techniques to help you create some really interesting drawings and also take your digital art to the next level. So make sure to watch the previous parts to this series before you continue with this video. And if you already have, make sure to have your program open and ready so you could follow along with me. So here I have my blank canvas to work on that I got by clicking here up on File and New at the top. So now I'm here working on a page. I also made a simple background on one layer. So I just used the paint bucket tool here, picked my color and dropped it onto the canvas. I made sure that my paint bucket was referencing the canvas as well, so it fills up my entire page. Now today we will be making a magical jewel or gem that glows. So I'll be showing you a way of creating a glowing effect. There are many ways to do this, but this is very basic and you can use this on any magical object or light that you draw. So I encourage you to follow along with me as we draw and go through some fun new techniques. So first we are going to draw our jewel. So I'll be making mine a teal gem today, but what I can show you can be done with any vibrant color that you would like. So I'm going to make a second layer here. I did that by clicking on this icon here, just saying create new layer. So I'm going to be using the pen brush with my correction up at the top here at 20. So to get your pen brush, you have to go at the top right on this toolbar on the left side. So here is my correction, and remember, correction makes you have those smooth lines and also helps get rid of that shakiness a bit. So 20 is a good number to start for this because we are going to be making straight lines on our gem. So I'm going to grab a dark teal color here to start with, and I'm going to start drawing at the top of my gem here, making these points go from a triangle. Now to quickly undo, I'm using shortcuts right now, and that means I am using the buttons on my keyboard here. I'm on a computer, so when I click on certain buttons on my keyboard, it makes the different tools work faster. Instead of me moving all the way to the top here and clicking undo, I can easily hit some buttons on my keyboard that will help me go faster. So right now I'm just drawing these straight lines on my gem. So here I have two coming into a point, and on each side I'm going to do a straight line coming down. Remember, you can use the undo at the top here if you don't like the line that you drew. And then now that I have my two here, I'm also going to draw the same point at the bottom. So two lines coming into a point in the middle. And I'm going to hit my eraser tool right below the brush and going to clean up the lines that I just went through. Just cleaning up any spaces that I have. And you can do the same as well. So now that we have our basic shape, we are going to draw some details in the middle that will make this object appear more 3D-like and also adding a bit of a pop. So I will draw a short line coming from each point of the gem. And it's going to move inward, so all my lines are pointing to the center. Just some small lines like this, all on your points of the gem. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 short lines. And now we will connect each line together. So this one will move to this line right here, this one to this line, this one to here, not going across anywhere, but just connecting right along the edge of my gem. Following the shape. And if you make any mistake, don't forget you have an eraser and also the undo button. Just cleaning up my lines here. Perfect. So now we have the base shape of our gem. So we can go ahead and start coloring it in now. So I will create a new layer. Remember, if you're going to add a new thing to your drawing, you should create a new layer. So when I hit this button here, I've made another layer and I'm going to drag it underneath my line layer. So remember, line always goes at the top and color right underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and name these just so I can have them organized, and I also don't want to make a mistake here. Line and color. So I'm going to choose a lighter teal up here to color in my gem, and I'm just going to color it in just with my brush tool. So I'm going to change the size over here on brush control. I'm going to drag this slider so I'm making the brush size bigger so I can cover more of my gem quickly. Just coloring inside the lines. And you can also make it a little smaller to go around those edges, just so you don't make any mistakes. Perfect. Now our jewel is all colored in. So now that we have our colored jewel, it's time to add some glow to it. So since we are going to be making a new addition to our drawing, we will make a new layer. So this button here at the bottom, click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and call this one Glow. Perfect. So now we are going to draw a glow effect around our jewel, but not using the pen brush this time. So we are going to grab from our list of brushes here in the corner. We have a lot of brushes to choose from, but today we are going to be focusing on the Airbrush. So go ahead and click on that. Now, the difference between our pen brush and the Airbrush, if you go ahead and color right on your canvas, you can see that the brush is very, very soft, much softer than our hard pen brush here. It has a very nice glow to it already. So I'm going to pick this color right in the middle. So I'm clicking on this eyedropper tool on my toolbar here and clicking in the middle just so I can get my color back. I'll head over to my brush again, and I have my airbrush tool. So I'm going to make this a good size. I'm keeping mine at about 100, 102 right there is fine. And right underneath, remember this is the opacity slider, which also means that it makes your color see-through. So how see-through your color is going to be. I'm going to keep mine very, very light because I want to be able to build up the color instead of having it very solid. So I want to be able to keep going and adding more color as I go. So I will keep mine around 15, and I will start coloring right around the edges of my jewel. So very lightly pressing down with my brush, I'm coloring the edges of my jewel. Very, very lightly, just going around it. Not too far out from the jewel either. Very lightly pressing down, creating a halo all the way around. So very lightly, soft look around this jewel. You can already see now that we are making a glow effect with this. So this is already giving a great glow effect, but we want to make it more believable. So we are going to talk about layer blending modes. So layer blending modes are used to change how the colors blend together. So they give different effects to your drawing. So some could lighten up your colors, and some could make them more vibrant, or even help you make shadows and make your colors darker. So we are going to look at the layer blending modes here. They are found in your layer window, right underneath our opacity dial. If we click on this drop down here, we can see a lot of different options. These are our layer blending modes. There are many to choose from, but we will be focusing on screen and multiply here. So with our glow layer selected, if we choose screen here, you can see your colors become more vibrant and bright, helping us make our jewel really glow on our background. So screen adds brightness to your layer. So now the other layer blending mode we are going to talk about is the multiply layer right up here. So the multiply layer is the opposite of screen. So it will take the information from the layer underneath and make it darker. So I will demonstrate this by making a shadow layer. So clicking down here, creating a new layer, I will call this one shadow. Click OK. Still with my color of my gem here, I'm going to lower the size of it just so I'm able to draw exactly where I want to go. I'm going to start coloring on my gem. But before that, I'm going to change the layer blending mode to multiply. So right now it's on normal, which all of your layers that you create new should be on normal. I'm going to hit multiply. So that's right underneath. Click on there. Nothing happened because we don't have anything on our layer just yet. So when we start drawing, I'm going to draw on this side of my gem here. You can follow along with me. You can see how the color gets darker. Even though I selected the exact same color as the gem here. It's the same color, I didn't go any darker, but with our layer blending mode, it changes the color for you, making the color darker than what it's supposed to be. And that is what the multiply layer blending mode does. It makes the color darker. So here we have our shadow on the side of our jewel. So now our jewel has a great shadow and glow to it. So these layer blending modes and the airbrush technique can be used around any object that is magical or has a glow coming from it. So if you were drawing a lantern or some sort of light, this would be great to use as well. I'm going to go back to our glow layer here, and I'm just going to do a single highlight on the opposite side where we have our shadow. So I'm going to grab up here on my color palette. I'm going to grab a very, very light color, almost white, just a very, very light teal color. I'm going to increase my brush size just about 30 here. And I'm going to keep my opacity about, let's say 18 here. And I'm going to lightly press, very, very lightly, following the shape of my jewel, creating this line right here. This adds a pop to your gem and an extra highlight. Very lightly, just making a line all around the shape of my gem. Now perfect, so this is our glowing jewel that we have. So we made a line drawing first, then we created our color layer, coloring in our gem and creating a glow behind it. So this is using our screen layer blending mode. And we also had a shadow on the one side of it using our multiply layer. So I hope the tools and techniques discussed today will help you with your artwork in the future, as you can apply these tools to anything that you can come up with. This is one of a 4-part mini course on MediBang for beginners. I teach digital art camps and classes at Wing Canvas, so check out our website for online programs. If you'd like to support our channel or the creation of free arts education, become a member of our Patreon, link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, here are some other videos that you can check out next.